The thoughts and opinions of this show is that of Drazy and does not coincide with all of Dre's Radio Cafe. Listening discretion is advised. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in today. This is another episode of In My Opinion. In My Opinion is basically a show dedicated to being just what it says, in my opinion. What I do is I get into a topic, I talk about things, give y'all information on things that can help y'all or cannot help y'all. I'll give y'all some insights on things that y'all may not have known or may would like to know. Alright. Today's episode really deals with is stripping or adult entertainment a job? Alright. I've been asked this question several times and people wanted me to address it, so I'm going to address it today. The question is stripping or adult entertainment a job? So let's break down what stripping is, alright, or adult entertainment, either way, or start it off from the bottom and work our way up. So adult entertainment can mean anything from, going to, what they call them things, I don't know the name of it, where there's people in there, sex parties and stuff in the building and all that stuff. I forgot what they call them. But there's also stripping. There is male reviews. There's things that have to do. Just adult entertainment means something over the age of 21. So we're looking at stuff that's over the age of 21. That is cannot be really seen in public. It has to be more private than anything, especially for age appropriate people. But in that nature, all right. So, is it a job? I'm going to give you the answer to that later on in the end of the show. But let's get into the pros and cons of it, because I guess I can speak on this from past experience, because I was not. No, let me explain something first of all. I was not a stripper. All right. People talk about my physique, my body, and all that stuff, whatever. But I have never ever been a male review, never been a stripper, none of that nature. All right. So just let's put that out there. Let's get it done and said. Another thing to know about me is I have never been into a establishment of such, meaning I haven't did that. Does that make me a bad person? No, it makes me actually more in tune with the sensitive side of me in terms of like women. So I have not, and a lot of it I think I say is because of the nature of respect for them. Because I can clearly go into a strip club and then have a different opinion on how I feel about them, down the line, and everybody's so different in their own way. So I'm not going to get deep into that, but I have not been into any establishment as such. So let's look at the pros and cons of it. Let's work out the pros first of all. Let's say, okay, so it can stabilize. My thing is, I think in a form of fashion, it can, first of all, no, let me go in order of some certain things. All right, financial gain. All right, financial gain. Let's talk about financial gain. Financial gain, it can easily get you deep into a realm of being more financially stable. When I say that, I mean if you're trying to go to college, because a lot of females back in the day used it to go to college. That's why if you look at movies like The Players Club, or trying to think of some other ones, Demi Moore was in the movie, and she did some things. But I haven't really gotten to watching certain movies. There's a lot of other movies too. One of the girls from Saved by the Bell was in one of the stripper movies. But they all had the idea of going to college in some sense or another, making their money for better reasoning. So it's a financial gain in itself. So you can use it for financial gain, whether it's to take care of your kids, to better yourself. You want a new car and you don't want to overdo yourself on working the money in. If it was going to college, if it was buying a house, for whatever reason it was always for financial gain. So you can always say for financial gain. Let's look at building self-esteem. It's a great builder for self-esteem, because guys or girls, either way, or if you're a male reviewer, or you're in a strip club, or either way, or there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be like, damn, she's fine, or damn, her body looks good, or damn, this, that, and other. They're always gonna give you that self-esteem, that boost, that extra leverage, that thing to make you feel like, well, gee whiz, I'm this, that, and the other, and I'm a bag of chips. So you're always gonna have that self-esteem involved in there. And I know a lot of people that I've been associated with and been around and stuff that have taken this route, and I know it's helped them in some sense or another in terms of their self-esteem. It may not be the greatest, may not be whatever the best, but it is what it is. So you can always look at that and be like, well, it helped my self-esteem out, which is good. It's always going to be a good thing. So, yeah, and it's a plus for people. All right, it's a plus for them. Meeting new people. You can always meet new people when you do this. This is a job where you're really not insecure with your, being able to conversate. If you do not like to talk, don't want to be bothered, anything of that nature, you do not want to be a stripper. Plain and simple. A male review, any of that nature. You don't want to do it. That's not the job for you, because you deal with the public, and the public is their nature. They're going to be there. They're either drinking and they want to see, abs, and I'm trying not to be super provocative, overrated here, but you don't want to see no ass and titties, and and not be able to talk dirty or whatever the case may be. So you gotta be around people that you can associate yourself with and talk to. So you have to be able to be willing to talk to people. Travel opportunities, man. If somebody's willing to pay that money, man, you'll go wherever, whenever to do a show, whatever the case may be. Who knows? I mean, I don't know the travel side of that. Make your own hours. You can make your own hours. If you don't want to go in on a Saturday night and you feel like staying at home with the kids or watching movies with your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the case may be, then so be it. You can sit at home and watch movies with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be, and you can make your own hours. You say, hey, I'm not going in today, but I'll go in tomorrow. I'll make my money up tomorrow. I'll make the money I need to make. You can pick your own hours pretty much. Basically, kind of like it's like if you owned a online business. If you own an online business, you can pick your own hours if it's your own company. So, you really have the opportunity to space out yourself. Now, I could be wrong. And listen, if you're listening to this or you're watching this or you're in the chat room and Speaker Radio or you're on, Google Podcast or Deezer or any of the nature that, all these platforms is on, feel free to send me a shout out or to let me know if it's something wrong. If you've been a stripper before, you've been in male entertainment or, in adult entertainment, or you've been in male review or any of that nature, send me some kind of information if I'm missing something that I can go back in and I can, do another show on it and talk some more in depth on it and get more deep into it. If you want to be involved in talking to me one-on-one and we can do an interview together and do this, that would be great too. This is just basically my opinion. That's why I stated, thoughts and opinions is mine and not of, Dre's Radio Cafe, because Dre's Radio Cafe is full of music and people and stuff, and I give my opinion on other shows too. But this is just how I feel, not how everybody else has to feel, okay? So it is have to do with your work and your work hours. Your work hours is different. You can work maybe 4 hours, you can work 3 hours, you can work 2 hours, you can work a couple hours, you can work all day. It's all a matter to you. I don't know that the business in terms of having to go in and having to pay, if you have to pay to go into work or if you, whatever the case may be, but either way, or to make your money, you gotta spend in order to make some money, and that's one of the cons to it. That's a con to it. So I'll get into that later on. So we got into building self-esteem, financial gain, meeting people, travel opportunities, work your own schedule, work hours, dancing and showing out. So if you're a dancer or you got any kind of talents or anything like that, it's gonna be real good for you. They've been very beneficial for you in the long run if you have that option. The reason I say that is because it's kind of like a beauty pageant. If you're not gonna be competing against other people, but you will be there with other people that's gonna be showstoppers. If they're showstoppers and they like that, then guess what? It is what it is. Prime example of this situation of this whole conversation. If you want to get deep into the realm of that lifestyle, TV shows, man, like P-Valley is a prime example of how it is in strip clubs. That's basically me watching TV sometimes and getting into that. But situations like that happen, and you will have them situations in workplaces. You'll have somebody that don't like you, that will, try to be bad and act up on you and, call you out and do all that stuff. And it is what it is because it's a lifestyle, it's a living, it's wherever, whenever. You have that in food industry, you have that at work industries, you have that at restaurants, you have that in big corporations, you have that at anywhere pretty much. School, that's why they're like bullies. That's basically what it is. The reality behind it is that you just go through the motions. You really just go through the motions. The same thing anywhere and everywhere. So let's get back into it. Build self-esteem, financial gain, meeting people, traveling, work your own hours, dressing up. If you like to dress up, if you like to wear nothing but thongs and high heels, or you like to wear, Speedo and, gym shoes, or Timberlands, or whatever the case may be. However it is that you feel the way you feel, that's just basically your get up, your outfit. If you want to wear a t-shirt, no t-shirt, want to wear, whatever, another pro to that is when I say financial gain, it's also the building of yourself. Some people they get into the business and they ain't got big breasts. They go out and they buy the breasts. They go out and buy the injections in your butt. They go out and do the certain things that make them look better, be better, feel better. You know what I'm saying? Your hair. Get your hair done every day. Get your nails done. All that stuff. That's all a pro. You're gonna have to look good to be good. Nobody wants to go in and see a sloppy, stripper, or nobody that nappy hair and all that stuff. I mean, then again, maybe it is something that's like that. It's no different than OnlyFans. OnlyFans, they see stuff for different reasons, fetishes, whatever the case may be, and they're willing to pay that money. It's in the privacy of your own home, probably, whatever the case may be. But it's still an entertainment business. It's adult entertainment. If that's what you want to call it, that's what it is. So you can consider OnlyFans as being a adult entertainment field. Is it a job? I will explain to you more on that later on. That'll be at the end of my segment. All right. But let's see. Dressing up, showing out, building self-esteem, financial gain, meeting people, traveling, on schedule, work schedule. It can establish or stabilize a relationship. What I mean by that, so if you dating somebody that is in that business or that profession, and they really care about you and they really truly love you, or is this person they say they are, then it's going to do one or two things. They're going to go through temptations there. They're going to go through men hollering at them, trying to say, hey, whatever the case may be. It can stabilize your relationship, make your relationship better. Meaning, if that person really care about you, they love you, they truly say how they say they are, and they're going to be the person they say they're going to be, then guess what? In the long run, that's going to show out. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have to worry about whether your spouse or your significant other is that person that they say they are, because guess what? They're going to show you that person that they say they are, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to prove to you that by not being caught in them temptations. Being caught in them temptations is going to make the situation worse, because or better, because the thing is that you have to be responsible for that situation. You see what I'm saying? If you really think that somebody's gonna take your significant other from you, that's the best way to probably find out, because guess what? If that person takes your person, your significant other, then they weren't really yours, and they really don't care about you. It's in any relationship. I mean, it's common sense. They can leave for other reasons, or they can do whatever, but the true significance behind it is it's called respect and loyalty. So if their respect and loyalty is to you, then anything that comes their way should never, ever invade the relationship itself. All right? And I'm just saying that straight out. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on that. So as I go down the list of pros, can stabilize a relationship, build self-esteem, financial gain, dancing, showing up, dressing up, meeting people, traveling, work your own schedules, and making your own schedules, pretty much. Let's go through the cons too. I know for every good thing there could possibly be a bad thing, but I don't think there's not a lot of cons compared to the pros. And I'm, like I said, I'll give you my opinion on whether or not this is considered a job or not at the very, very end. But let's go through the cons of it. All right. Guest attitude. First of all, you can go into any establishment and it could be something that's not right or something that's not fabulous, and it could be horrible. You know what I'm saying? It could be absolutely horrible. And if that be the case, then so be it. But you have them people there that are going to be buttholes. I mean, it's plain and simple. They're going to be that asshole. They're going to be that one that's you're not going to like, or you're going to have something that's going to be really, really rude, want to touch on you, want to do things, want to think that they're all that. They got the money, but they want to flaunt, and they want to be this person. You're going to have people like that, calling you out your name while you're on stage or whatever the case may be. Who knows? You're going to have people with rude attitudes. You're going to have people with attitudes. So you got to be prepared for that. There's no guarantee on the wage. So you can go in. That's part of the reasoning behind working your own schedule and the hours and the financial gain part. Even though there's pros to it because there's financial gain to it if it's a good day, a bad day, whatever the case may be. But the con to it is there's no guarantee that the money is there. What do I mean by that? You can go into work on Wednesday and there's 10 people in there. Might be a good day, might be a bad day, might be payday. You can go in there on Thursday and there'll be 2 people there. Could be a good day, could be a bad day, could be day payday. So you don't really know. Is it saying that it's a bad thing or a good thing? No, it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a matter of what's that day gonna be like. It's no different than going to a restaurant and the restaurant is slow one day but it's busy the next day, or it's good the next day but it's bad the next day. I mean, it's all a matter of what that day's gonna be like for that business. So I mean, it's cut dry. It's either hit or miss. You don't know what your day's gonna be like because you have no clue what your day's gonna be like. It can either be good or it can be bad, just depending on what the day's like for everything else. Because hell, you don't know. Christmas time. Look at holidays. Okay, so what's good days for for the adult industry? Can it be Christmas? I mean, nope. Does people really want to go out for Christmas and look at slinging weenies and boobs and all that stuff all over the place? You may not know. I don't know. Is Valentine's Day a better day than Christmas? What about Black Friday? They have a Black Friday sale on shaking ass and titties and juices all over the place being slang while you're eating wings and all that stuff. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have a clue on that answer for that because I don't know that. But there could be a better day for that. There could be a week where there's nothing going on. There could be a day where, like, for example, election day, if you vote and you got a voter's registration card and all that stuff, you get a free lap dance or some shit. Who knows? Who knows what that day is going to be like? It might be payday, might not be payday, what your payday is. I mean, so we don't have a clue, and I can't say what the day is going to be like for when you go in there because you don't know. It's just the same in any industry. Any industry is going to be the exact same way. So I can't really tell you if that is a con or not, but my opinion on that is it can happen. You know what I'm saying? So no guarantee on wage. Maintenance, you have to, as a stripper or a male entertainer or whatever the case is, you got to keep up that appearance. So if you go into the strip club or a male review or something and you are dressed to the nines and you're a male dancer and you dressed up in a zoot suit made by Armani or something, you got to keep that appearance up because guess what? Women are looking at this and they saying, damn, that guy, he fine. He coming through. He just slanging it. He doing his thing. Blah, 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 blah. I want to go home with him. You getting your lap dance. They throwing money in your pants. Whatever the case may be. You got to keep this appearance up. Meaning you can't come in one day with your hair looking all straggly and fucked up. Your beard not done up. Your shoes ain't right. You ain't dressed right. You stink. You smelling like ass. I mean, you can't go through the motions like that. You have to be on point. Same thing with women. Women cannot come through with your hair not looking, laid down, looking nice, nice outfit. You got to have a different, nobody wants to see the same thong and bra or same t-shirt and panties or the same shoes every time. You got to keep up with that. So you have to have that, you got to have that flair with it. You got to keep yourself on point. You can't change who you are for any fashion, no fashion, whatever fashion, for no reason whatsoever. So you're going to have to stay on point. You cannot change up who you are. So you're going to have to make sure your appearance is on point and you keep yourself done. Your nails, your feet. I mean, people look at feet. You got to do the bottoms. You got to do the tops. You got to do, your eyelashes. You got to make sure your face is made up right. There's a lot of maintenance to it for a woman and much less a man too. I mean, so you got to stay on point when it comes to maintenance because you're going to have to do that one way or the other. Let's get into peer pressure. No, let me get into peer pressure close to last because there's some other things. Life in danger. Let's do life in danger because that is a con. Why I say that is because you're gonna find some guy out there that can be a lunatic, could fall in love with you. Here's the thing: when alcohol's involved, things happen. Meaning, you get drunk, you fall in love with somebody. I done gave you $7,000-8,000. I can't get one date with you. I'm pissed off. On one moment, I'm gonna be pissed off. I done gave you $8,000 in lap dances, blah, 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 blah. I can't even get you home one night. I might put you in danger. You know what I'm saying? That's just me speaking. That's not me as a person. Just saying, hypothetically speaking. If that was any other situation, some man is probably going to be like that. Or some woman. Don't make it think it's all about the man. It can always be the woman too. The woman can come through and be like, shit, I done put tons of money in this man's drawers. He ain't come to my house yet. He ain't take me on no date. Ain't try to buy me no roses. Ain't did nothing for me. He keeps sitting on me, throwing his juice all on me, blah, 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 kissing on me, laughing, and making jokes and all that. And I'm feeling, heated and whatnot. I can't even get, hey, how you doing? Can you come to my house? Can I take you on a date or something? They might get like that. Never know. Hell, man, what's the movie with Martin Lawrence and the gal? She was crazy. Man, thin line between love and hate. Oh, get it there. You know what I'm saying? Can be like that. Misery. It could be like misery. You can be in somebody's bed right now with daggum brick between your legs. She breaking your ankles and shit. Hey, listen, I ain't making this shit up. This shit is real life. So if you're listening to this and you think it's crazy, it's real life. It really happens. Shit like this happens every day to somebody. So don't think it's just you. And I mean, well, not if you do this thing, but if you're a listener and you understand this, then you know where I'm coming from. And if you're not, and like I said before, if y'all have any objections to anything I say, then y'all feel free to hit me up and say something. 615-540-3998, 615-540-3998 is the radio station number. You can send me text message, you can call me, whatever the case may be, leave a voice message. Next time I'm on the show, I'll send you shout outs, I'll do all that stuff. But this is just my opinion, because I want everybody to be aware. I had this question asked to me, and I'm just dissecting it for what it's worth, in my own opinion. All right. Let's see. So we did guest attitude, no guarantee wage, maintenance. When I mean maintenance, I meant to say this too. Sugar mama, sugar daddy. I mean, that's a whole nother subject, but let me get off of that. I'm not going to get in that, but that is just another PowerPoint to this, all right? Let's see. Peer pressure. Life and danger. Okay, so I did life and danger. Let's go to peer pressure and then crushing self-esteem. So, crushing self-esteem. Man, everybody's not cut to be a stripper or male entertainer. Any of that nature. Somebody comes to you and say, hey, you ain't shit, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't making the money that the next gal making or the next guy making. You might have your self-esteem crush. It's not a thing of anything else. It's just a matter of people's visions of how they see things. I can see one woman, she might be the perfect person. She might be average. Then the next one might see her as being alright. The next person might be like, damn, she ugly. Then the next person come out and that person might be above average to somebody. Might be average to me. Might be so-so to somebody else. So it's all a matter of how you present yourself and who you think you are, because you have to have your own self-worth. If you don't know your own self-worth, then of course you're always going to feel like you're losing self-esteem when somebody say you ain't making as much money as the next person is, or you feel like you ain't making more money than the next person is, or you get treated differently than the next person does. So self-esteem. I can go in deeper in that, but I'm trying to keep this to 30 minutes as possible, all right? So, self-esteem. Let's go to peer pressure. Peer pressure, meaning you might have to, every now and then, drink or feel a certain way or go through the motions on certain things. And peer pressure is a motherfucker, because peer pressure coincides with, let me put it like this. Peer pressure coincides with my last point is it can tear a relationship apart. Alright? The same way it can break it up, meaning build that confidence up, make you think that, oh, that person is the person for you, because they're going to say they're loyal to you, they're going to say they're this person to that person, they show you that. It's the same way they can break it apart. That self-confidence and everything else that you got going in, you think this relationship is going to be one and you know you can do it, it's going to be that builder. If not, it can be that tear apart. Meaning peer pressure. You get around people and people say, oh, you so fine, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you have this drink? Why don't you smoke with me? Why don't you do blah, blah, blah? And you go through the motions on that. Then one thing leads to another thing that leads to something else. And then that thing that you think is keeping your relationship together is probably tearing it apart. So it can pull a relationship apart with peer pressure. That's where the peer pressure part comes in. Either it's going to help build it or it's going to pull it apart. And when that happens, then it is what it is. But you cannot say, hey, uh, you know, it was a peer pressure. No, I mean, it's you as in the peer pressure, but you have to be more strong on that than anything else. So peer pressure and tear apart a relationship. Because if you decide to drink and smoke or whatever, and you end up sleeping with the dude, or you end up pregnant, or the female or the male, blah blah blah, or you get somebody pregnant, or whatever the case may be, it can be what it is. See what I'm saying? So it's an upside and a downside to it. I'm not gonna get super deep into it, but it is what it is. Let me break this down to you real quick before we get ready to get up out of here, because I got 4.5 minutes. Do I think it is a job? Yeah, I do. The reason I say that is because I dealt with it before. Dated somebody that was in the profession, and it did work for our relationship, in terms of financially, and some other things. But it's all opinion of what you think. Now, I've been around the people that have been in that business. I've dealt with people that's been in that business. I've been around people that's been in that business. I've dated people that's in that business. I mean, I've had my hands in all that, and that's fine. I understand that. It is a matter of opinion to you. My opinion is it is a job. The reason I say it is a job is because it is a profession that brings in money, and it does help out in some sense or another. It will try to make you or break you, and it also can be a builder. Do I think that it is the best thing in the world? No, not by any fashion. Excuse me. Because it can be dangerous, not only for you but for the loved one that you're involved with. So if that person is in danger, you've got to put yourself on the line to make sure that person is all right. You can put yourself in danger too. Now, like I said before, it's all about peer pressure, because a lot of people will say, oh no, it's not like that, it's different. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's still about upkeeping. It's about not upkeeping. It's about being professional. And if the thing about it is that if you take this job and you do this job and you do it to the fullest that you have to understand it is a profession. And if you do this as a profession, you have to be what? Professional. All right? Be professional about it. All right? Don't change up who you are. Don't try to do anything different. Take everything with a grain of salt. Don't try to half-ass yourself. Be the best person you're going to be if you're going to do this job. And don't half-ass yourself out of being the best person that you can be. Alright? Don't take a lot of shit. And every time you go in that door to your professional job, you have to look at the pros and cons of everything and weigh it out for the best reason. Do not half-ass it. Do not second-guess you. And do not let nobody hurt your self-esteem. Alright? Regardless, you're still human. You still live your life. You're still an amazing person if you do this job. If you don't do this job, then you don't have nothing to worry about. If you date somebody that does do this job, you have to realize that they're still doing a job. And you have to treat them as such. Don't change up who you are. And if you do what you're doing, do what you got to do. I mean, still continue to pay your tithes if you go to church, anything of that nature. Be strong about how you are. I mean, whatever it's going to take to make you a better person, be that person. But is stripping or adult entertainment a job? Yes, it is. Because you're still going to adult bookstores and all that stuff, and that is a job too. Alright? So, with all that being said, if I said anything that offends you, I dearly apologize. If I said anything that helps you out, you're much appreciated. If I said anything, if I didn't say something, feel free to hit me up, drezey21 at yahoo.com. That's drezey21 at yahoo.com. That's my email address. Or you can call me 615-540-3998. Phone's always on me. That's the radio phone. If I'm not there, leave me a message or text message me whatever your question is, and I will get back into the mix with you on the very next show about anything that I can probably clear up, or I have a recap show. Alright? Other than that, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all so very much for tuning in with me. I usually close out by saying put God first, protect, provide, spread love, and get this money. I don't know what the topic is for my next show. Oh no, raising children. That's what it is. So raising children. Until next show, I'm gonna show y'all ways to reach me, and y'all be safe. Until next show, peace. Ways to reach me. DREZEY21 at yahoo.com. That's DREZEY21 at yahoo.com. You can also call 615-540-3998. That's 615 855-403-3998. If I do not answer, feel free to leave me a message or send me a text message. I will get them as soon as possible, and I will return your message, all right? Also, you can check out the website, www.Dre's Radio Cafe. That's www.DresRadioCafe.com, all right? Man, so many ways to reach me. Hit me up whenever you get the opportunity. That's Dre's Radio Cafe. What you sipping on? Let's get into it. Let's go.